Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another Richter report. As you know, if you've been following me all week, I've been coming in with books that have inspired me or changed my perception or taught me something. This whole week we've been battling, the world has been battling with a lot of this polarizing political views, racial views. Some people have called it the race wars that are going on, protests. We're coming out of this pandemic, this lockdown, with feelings of just being like disconnected in what's happening, and then followed it up with this huge thing that just shocked the nation. And some people are saying it was sort of the end of an era or a time that people were just feeling like they were bottled up, they were boiled like to the brink, they were brought to like the point of steaming. And some people are saying like this is actually a catalyst, this was actually something that was in the works already, and we're just seeing the ramifications of something that would have come anyway. And it doesn't, George Floyd is an icon of that, but it's a time for us to all take up arms and shift something in the world. And my perspective is I always want to look at the positive, and not in a head in the sand kind of way, not in an apathy, like I'm not going to look at the news and I'm not going to see what's happening. Like that's kind of a spiritual bypassing. Like, oh, I don't want to, I don't want to engage in negative. My vibration's too high for that. Well, there's no room for apathy now. Like if you are saying that you don't want to engage because you don't want to get political, that's because you have a privileged position to not get political. So apathy is a privilege, right? And if you get that, right, there are like nobody actually wants to have racial discrimination, race wars, the race conversation. Everyone wants to be higher than that, to vibrate higher than that, have a frequency that's higher than that. The people who are saying, I'm not getting involved in that, you have a privileged position of not getting involved with that. So you can walk outside your house and not be involved with that by merit of other people who have fought for your rights, for you to be able to not get involved with that. So if we get that, like just really feel that and get that, and know that if we're all in this together, then we're all in this. Like we are all in this. The next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years are going to look nothing like the last 5, 10, 20, or 50 years that have passed. So we're in this transition. We've got to kind of figure out, where is our place? Are we going to take up where we were going to? Where we were before, or are we going to kind of be the leaders of what we're coming into? And so for me, I've always loved not just the political voices, but really I find that artists and poets incredibly are able to make more change than a lot of times people who are protesting and marching and making, taking these huge action steps. The voices of the poets are the ones that usually come through and have the quotes and inspire the politicians and inspire the change. And one of my long time favorite poets is Alice Walker. And she has a book. It was actually given to me by my best friend a few years ago, and it's The World Will Follow Joy, Turning Madness into Flowers. Turning madness into flowers. So I'm just actually going to read one poem from Alice Walker, and it is just very apropos. Racism dates us. Speciesism does too. I know we don't care. It feels so good to feel superior to other beings for reasons they do not control. There we go, talking about the blacks, the browns, the reds, the yellows, and the whites, as if our children haven't already painted and repainted God's face, adding a tattoo and a feather here and there, and returned it glowing to her cosmic coloring box. Racism divides us, or dates us. Speciesism does too. That's the name of the poem. The World Will Follow Joy. And it's incredible actually that we have all colored each other, and Crayola just came out with a whole new set of skin color. And if you think of that we're in 2020 and we just now have a new name, a new color, a new painting, a new identification for the childhood thing that we were all indoctrinated, that skin color had a single color. And now we are repainting. We are repainting what it means to be in our skin. And so that is the skin that we are in. I really highly recommend you guys pick up a poem by Alice Walker, a poem that maybe sheds some light on what it is to be racist, what it means to be anti-racist, and what it means to be non-racist. And I hope to see you tomorrow, where I will be sharing like my all-time favorite book. I actually think that it should be required reading for every single person on this planet. I'll see you tomorrow. For today, the world will follow joy. I hope you follow joy today. See you.